I want to get to criminologist Casey Jordan, former Minneapolis Police Chief Madaria Arredondo, and former FBI agent Chris O'Leary. Welcome to all of you on this day of these revelatory, chilling details. I mean, Casey, the criminal complaint states the gunman went to great lengths to disguise his identity and also to imitate police. What does that tell you about his mindset?
The outline of the details that we just heard in that presser is really astounding, because we not only know that he did a tremendous amount of research and got not just the names of them, but their addresses, but he cased the joint, he surveilled them. He had notes next to their names, like married with 2 children, big house by the golf course, 2 different ways in and out. And this is the thought process of an incredibly dangerous, methodical, systematic criminal. And to compound that, we know that after he shot the Hoffmans and surely thought he left them for dead, the idea that he was so unfazed that he went on to 2 other locations before even reaching Melissa Holtman's house. At no point did he ever think, this is madness, I need to stop this. He just kept going. And if he had not been intervened at his 4th location, there's no doubt in my mind that he would have committed even more mayhem and had more killings.
Unbelievable. And of course, then impersonating officers as well as his vehicle by which to commit these alleged acts. Chris, I mean, authorities say the suspect stalked his victims like prey. Allegedly had voluminous writings that we talked about as well. So what more would the FBI need to try to piece together what happened here? I mean, there's got to be a digital footprint, obviously. There's his family to talk with. There are friends, writings. Walk me through that investigation.
Yeah, so the FBI is now looking back, and most terrorist attacks or incidents of political violence, those incidents happen, and now you're piecing the investigation together afterwards. So the FBI is trying to illuminate his entire life. Who were his friends and associates, family members, obviously, but who did he interact with? And really getting down to what is his ideology or his grievance. There has been a lot of assertions that, well, this is political violence, and it certainly has the hallmarks of it because of the lists. But why did he go after these individuals? Was it a single issue? Was it the abortion rights issue? Was he, has been alluded to also, a Christian nationalist? Did he have some parts of that? Did he believe in more of a Christian identity movement and a Christian national state?
And finding all this out helps you do what? Figure out deterrence or other people who might have acted?
To find out if there's other people following this ideology, number one, if there was some larger plot at play here, but also other charges that you could supersede with. Is this an act of terrorism and political violence? Or was this an individual at a grievance against these individuals for some unknown reason, and he was just acting out for that? Or, I mean, he's clearly a homicidal maniac. Did he just want to go after people, that it's going to make a splash? I mean, it's really hard to get inside of his mind to determine why he did this. There's also something in kind of the terrorism and political violence world now, which is this, we call it salad bar, where people are taking different pieces of ideologies or grievances and kind of creating their own. There's not much of a gateway to get in when you can create your own kind of movement and your own ideology.
Chief Rondo, I mean, a local police officer came across the gunman near the home of another state lawmaker and thought that he was providing security, it seems. So the officer apparently moved on. Was this a breakdown in protocol of some way?
No, Laura, I don't think it was a breakdown in protocol. As both Casey and Christopher had mentioned, the suspect here, Vance Belter, he went through absolutely painstaking details to conceal himself to the public. I mean, everything down from the license plate decals to the vest he was wearing, to the flashlight, even with the silicone mask that he wore. That officer did the right thing, was checking up. During the press conference, it was it was Chief Bruley of the Bloomington Police Department that said to media, if he had walked into that media room right there wearing what he had on, everyone in that room would have thought he was a police officer. And you can imagine in the darkness of the hour when that officer rolled up on him. I would actually say, Laura, what occurred over the last 43 hours, it was a highly complex multi-jurisdictional law enforcement operation. And I got to tip my hat off to Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson, the BCA Bureau of Criminal Apprehension Superintendent Drew Evans. They really put together a finely tuned law enforcement operation that, again, from 43 hours out, they were able to capture him. And he also went to 4 different suburbs. We mentioned the first shooting occurred in Champlin. The second one, where the the elected official was not home, was in Maple Grove. The third one was in Robbinsdale, where that officer happened to interrupt him. And then, of course, I think we have to give credit to the Brooklyn Park Police Department as they approached State Representative Melissa Hortman's home. They engaged with him. There was a fire. They were shooting at each other. And for them to have engaged the way that they did, he had to flee without that vehicle. Yeah. We know that the contents of that vehicle were AK-47s, multiple ammunition rounds. He left what he needed to fulfill those other targets, and he couldn't do it. And so I really applaud the law enforcement operation that took place that got him into custody within 43 hours. Sadly, we lost, obviously, Melissa Hortman and her husband, and we're praying for a full recovery for Senator Hoffman and his wife. But Minnesota law enforcement is to be commended on how quickly and fast they performed that operation.
Truly remarkable, and so tragic to think about how this has transpired and what could have been as well. Thank you so much, everyone.